am surprised that, and this kind of goes to, I'm glad you called your local DNR agent and asked advice on what or how, because I'm surprised they didn't just tell you to do a salvage tag, but maybe it was too close to when you had shot him to kind of be applicable for a salvage tag. And I bet that's just a decision that each individual agent, it's just I guess a judgment call on their part, but it just goes to show you, like, you're better off calling them and always getting advice. And then, you're in the clear, because who the hell, I certainly wouldn't have thought the muzzleloader tag. I would have thought my
whatever you shot it with.
Yeah, but he's right. If it happened 5 days or 10 days or whenever, after the season was over, when you recovered him, I don't know. That's such a weird gray area that you only can do right by calling the agent and him telling you what to do.
Yeah, it seems like agents have quite a bit of discretion, because you can only write wildlife code for so many scenarios, and then there's going to be gray areas that are like, well, what do we do here?
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Good call.
Well, let's get into some of the shenanigans here.
Okay. We typically give our guests the out here. Like, if you've got actual work to do, feel free to to step away and say, okay, I got to head out, but you're welcome to stick around.
You could end your Zoom call now. This is your chance to get away from us, or you could stick around for the shenanigans.
All right, let's see what you got.
Oh, okay. He's ready to play ball.
Okay. Well, so we've got this week's Real Wild clip is a fishing related clip. And we should say that if you have, like, one of the guys in the Rack Pack just submitted a Real Wild clip, and I think we're going to end up using it. It's pretty crazy. So if you guys have crazy videos from the outdoors, send them into us and we'll maybe run them.
Well, and then it gets featured over in the Drury Outdoors social media channels. We just put one up that I think aired maybe 2 episodes or so ago. It was that turkey that flew down into the guy's lap and he shot it. It's at like 150,000 views or something crazy like that. I mean, it's just rolling along. So it's pretty neat to then get featured on the social channel side as well.
Yes. So before we view this Real Wild clip, I need to set this up. So this is probably from, so my daughter's 10. She was probably 4 or 5 when, she had been 5.
Good story.
Because my dad was with us. I gave him the point of view camera. So my daughter we were at a little farm pond, and my daughter catches a little bluegill. And as she's reeling in the bluegill, she's giggling, and it's funny. But I see a very large dark shadow following the bluegill.
Alligator?
Close.
Whale?
Closer.
Shark?
No. Well, it ends up being, I guess you just have to watch the clip and see what it is.
All right. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right, so Sophie I took the rod from her because she was freaked out.
Like your dad would do.
I give it back. I give my dad the camera, and what you see now is like something roiling in the water. So Sophie's holding the rod, and I'm end over ending the line, and it's probably a 3-pound largemouth that inhaled her bluegill.
Out. Yeah, she's freaking out. She's in a pink tutu. It's cute.
She's dressed to go
giggling.
fishing.
That's hilarious. We cut this clip way down to shorten it up, but it's a couple minute clip, and she's like not wanting to go over there and get near the fish, and
she's like, "Oh, it's waving at me."
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because in the longer version, my dad knew what was up. He didn't realize it was such a big fish, and you can hear him when he sees, a big fish, they move water differently than smaller fish. And he threw up this kind of royal, and my dad was like, oh boy. Like, oh, it's game on.
That's pretty cool. That's a memory you guys will have forever.
Oh,
to catch it on camera too. Mm-hmm. So she's reeling in a bluegill, then a bass comes in and eats the bluegill, and you catch, he's got him on a hook and reeling it in, and everybody's screaming. I mean, that's pretty chaotic, moment, but funny.
And then she's like, let's go get another one.
If only.
It's like, honey, they don't come like that all the time. And so this pond is full of bass. She insisted on bringing it home. We had it for dinner that night.
Oh, that's cool.
So she provided the meal for us.
That's cool. Pretty awesome. So that's the Real Wild clip of the week.
Yep. So if you guys have clips, send them on in.
Yeah, this is, you shared that originally on your Thinking Woodsman page, right?
Yep.
Your YouTube channel.
Yep.
And it got me thinking about sharing. We got Jimmie on, and he was talking about Isaac, his son, and their fishing trip, and just hunting and how special the family side is to him.
Yeah.
You're talking about your daughter, and so it reminded me of a Instagram DM I got. This was late last week. So my daughter graduated preschool, and now they graduate preschool, first grade, second grade. It's ridiculous. I get it. I always thought it was ridiculous, but it's when it's your kid, it's cute. So I shared a picture of my daughter on Instagram, and how proud we were. All this guy sends me a message. And he tells me, man, I hope you don't take this in the wrong way, but I love what you and your family do for the hunting community. You guys represent hunters in a very clean and professional manner, and I respect you guys for that. And I'm thinking,
where's this going?
Yeah, exactly. This is interesting. It says, with that being said, okay, here we go.
No.
It's super, and super's in all caps, awkward when I get on here and see content of your kids. I'm sure they're great kids and you're very proud of them. But as someone who has no clue who you are or who your kids are, I find it extremely awkward and weird.
What?
I suggest sharing that content in a more private manner with people closer to your family.
What?
Just here for deer hunting content and not some random kid's life milestones. Best of luck to you.
Holy cow.
It took everything I had not to MF this guy into oblivion, but I took the high road because you just never know. I just took the high road, and everybody can screenshot.
Decided to talk about him on the podcast.
Well, listen, I didn't say the guy's name. I could blast us fool that way.
Terry Drury.
No, but I just said I appreciate the feedback. I got one page, and this is my life. You're following for a reason. In my life, I'm a father first. I'm a family man first. The reality is I do very little hunting anymore. That's the reality. How often do we hunt?
Well, stick around for the question of the day. Okay. We get to answer that.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. I haven't looked at the page here, but I just said, look, this is my life and I'm going to share it. I politely suggested he might want to unfollow, and he did. But I just thought, what gall?
That's incredible.
You're following me, dude.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, we're not one dimensional. Like we all have different interests and we spend our time differently. And most people appreciate getting to see like the depth that you have.
I don't know. I sat and thought about it before because I never try to respond, whether it's a text to, it's something, in the heat of the moment, try not to respond right away. And I sat and thought about it because I did want every bit of me probably wanted to say, go F off, you followed this page. This is just my life. Had
we done that on the Drury Outdoors page, I think he would have a leg to stand on. Cause people come there because it's a hunting page.
Yeah. And we don't, hell, I'm never on that page. So,
yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. I just kind of felt like it was very, he said super awkward. And I thought, yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's super awkward. You sent me this message.
Made it that way.
Anyways, for anybody listening that follows my Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, I mean, it's just, I'm just sharing who I am and what I'm doing. And the reality is I'm doing more family stuff than I'm doing hunting right now.
I'd like you to apologize for your children. I'd like that to happen.
I'm gonna stick a finger in my chest.
You and your kids. I thought you were going to bring up my comment that I made in that post.
What was your comment?
Total party school.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's right. I was going to say, I was looking for, man, we switched around my soundboard here, and here it is.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
Now you're going to hear about him.
Now you're going to hear about him.
So, he had a problem with me.
So don't
problem is solved. He unfollowed, and that's the beauty of social media. I said politely, you can unfollow, and he did.
That is the beauty of liberty.
And justice for all.
You live in a friggin' free country. Yeah. That's what you do.
Although next time, just unfollow me. Don't send me the message because I could give a rat's ass. Yeah.
Jeez.
All right.
Wildlife. Well, let's do question of the day.
All right. So the question of the day is probably brought to you by Cold Steel Professional Blades for Real Hunters. I am not a real hunter, but I do use a Cold Steel.
Hi, my name is Justin McCormick. I live in Jeffersonville, Indiana.
Hoosier.
And I was curious of how many days do you guys spend in the woods during deer season?
Okay.
Jimmie, you go first. You obviously spent some time in the outdoors last year, but how many times did you get out to actually hunt?
I hunted a lot. I hunted every single day of the archery season, and the entire first shotgun season. We're talking hour, and Yeah, but after the last day of the shotgun season, I was pretty much done. And again, it didn't matter if I was seeing deer, not seeing deer, shot a deer, didn't shoot a deer. I would have been there up until the day I shot Uno. And had I not seen him, I'd continued to hunt that day. However, I was retired. I didn't have a job to go to. I didn't have any other responsibility but be in the woods. And again, my situation is different than a lot, but yeah, I was in the woods every single day of the last holiday season.
Jimmie's living the life. He worked hard. He got to retire, and now he's just living. He's going on fishing trips. He's hunting every day. I'm envious.
Just live vicariously through Jimmie.
That's right.
I'd be good with that.
How about you?
I kind of broke it down. I typically have been spending 2 to 3 days per week. I don't know what that amounts to, but through September 15th to January 15th.
Do the math, Tim.
Whether it's impossible to know. Actually,
I mean, I'm not good at math. I'm no doctor.
I think that can be known. But yeah, about 2 to 3 days a week, it seemed like. And then like even after I killed, trying to get friends out or Sophie out or just doing stuff, moving stands, whatever, it seemed like that's about what it amounted to.
Yeah, I would guess I probably spent around 45 days but this isn't like I'm hunting all day. It'd be, we come to work, you leave at, depending on the part of the season or where we're going, it might be leave at noon, leave at 2, and then head to the stand. So hunt for 3 hours roughly and then head home. So, I mean, I probably it was a long season. If we didn't kill the last deer until January 4th or 5th.
It was close there.
And so, I'd say probably 45 days, but like I said, the kind of a asterisk there, few hours here, which is same for you.
Yeah.
It's not like other than on a weekend or something or during the rut, it wasn't like it was an all day affair. Yeah.
Trying to be strategic. Timing that deer cast.
And I said it earlier in the podcast, I did run the mileage. I thought it was like 6,000 to 8,000 miles I put on my truck last year. Yeah, but I did go to Kansas and went to Illinois, went up to Dad. So there's a couple bigger trips in there. But most of our hunting was in 30 to 45 miles of studio and then another, 45 miles home. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
Yeah.
The suburban bow hunting is my bread and butter. That's really, I mean, just from sheer amount of time on task, it's killer. Which
in a good way or a bad way?
In a good way. Yeah, being able to get to my stand within 20 minutes of either here or from my house.
Yeah, okay.
And at the end of the night, when you're just completely fatigued, not having to drive home, at a 45-minute plus drive.
I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, it's almost like I should have killed more deer.
Just killing time.
Yeah.
Much like this podcast. If you're still listening.
I can do that.